This week's video, kind of just a quick, easy one. I'm en route to the lower mainland, which will make sense next week. But I've been sitting on an adventure for a little bit now. Over the winter, I was coming back from Oregon and I stopped and did some flying with the drone to take a look at one of my favorite train bridges here. On the way back with the drone, I happened to notice there's a bunch of stuff sitting in the forest here. I flew the drone all through the trees here, but I couldn't really get a good idea of what this place was. At first, with all the cement, I really thought something military related. I have my doubts. Hey, bear. Almost looks like maybe a generator room. Surprised to see that it's cemented in there though. Look at that wall, goes all the way along. But there's no other door in there. Nope. This is one that really caught my eye. What's on here? Neat little design on there. Looks like it might say geez, it looks like 1927, but I doubt it. Just storage maybe. I can see those are just bags of cement that have been left so long that the paper has disappeared and the cement is left behind. Before we get too far away, I'd like to take a look and see where that cement goes to. Goes nowhere, just a wall. Whatever was here, there was a lot of stuff. You can see buildings down there as well. But it's in pretty rough shape. Doesn't really appear to be all that old. Pretty crazy. The history of the Fraser Canyon goes way back to the early years of British Columbia. And there's all kinds of stuff scattered all through the canyon. But once it's abandoned, it's forgotten about really quickly. I've never even heard of anything along this section of the canyon my whole life. It was just a crazy coincidence that I spied it from the drone. This almost looks like a little campground, but I have my doubts. Holy smokes. Take a look at the prickles on this guy. Those will get you. Yeah, I want to go and take a closer look at that train bridge. It's just over here. I've admired it quite a few times from the highway. Classic hole. I wonder what came through here and ruined these places. Really doesn't appear to be very old, but most of them have totally collapsed. I mean, they've been sitting a while, getting lost in the cabbage. As a matter of fact, this tree looks like it's completely grown since this thing has fallen apart. So maybe they've been there a while, but this one looks much larger. Oh, wow. First impression, looks like a barn, but look at this nice archway going in here. So I can see through the floor. Maybe not the best idea to walk out there. What the heck is that? Looks like a display case with an old school washing machine on top, an ice cream machine. Maybe this was a little store. That would make sense. This is pretty cool. All the rocks in here just locally sourced and then cemented in. Oh, old school wooden trunk. Yeah, I like that foundation. Pretty cool. That is a furnace. Yep, good support beam there. Yikes-a-bee. I'm really guessing this was some type of campground or something. Really not much left of it, but what a beautiful chunk of property here. Well, I suppose it could have something to do with salmon and the First Nations. You can hear how close the highway is right here, but you can't see any of this from the highway. Think of the tens of thousands of people a year that drive past here and have no idea. Such a cute little oasis. I wonder if possibly the place actually just never got finished. Way down in the bottom corner. And all this fencing wires here. Some wrecked up cars maybe. This is what I could see from the top that made me walk down here. Unfortunately, just a dumping ground. Old school dumping ground though. Oh, that's awesome. When you see somebody with a motorhome now, their tow vehicle is typically a Jeep or a tiny little car. Look at this thing. It's got a flat tow bar on it, so you can just drag it behind. Wonder what kind of car this is. Pretty rad. Almost looks like they were trying to build themselves a little bit more real estate here. Listen to that big old diesel chugging along. There was a period of time where British Columbia also had passenger railway. I wonder if this is here to support passengers on the train. I think I'll start hiking back up. We're quite a ways down from where those buildings were, but you can see the ground has been worked by humans still all the way down here. Old enamel pot. Hey, this is a neat one. Just stumbled across this, what looks like just a fallen tree. But then I noticed this. It's an old power line. The insulators would have been on there, glass. Looks like they've either broken or been scooped. But something was here many years ago. And it looks like a big rig lost a tire. And it came flying down the mountain. Oh my goodness. This guy's tire broke right off the truck. That's crazy. I've never seen a rim break like that. Must have gotten a wreck. Either way, it did tumble all the way down here. Well, I'm definitely not the first one poking around down here. That's the existing highway running along right up there. And this thing at some point in time came blowing off of there. Someone's come and scooped the head off of there and the interior. if I'm heading to the lower mainland, the canyon is always the route that I take, but it's basically one big long ghost town now. It used to be thriving back in the day, but I've stopped a lot of places and looked over the bank, and it seems like, unfortunately, pretty much anywhere you look, there's garbage down the bank. It's kind of neat being on the bottom side, finding it all. These old cars and stuff, there's been garbage piling up down here for decades. Definitely a mechanic's shop. Something up in the roof there. The controversy in the comment section over that doorknob a couple weeks ago, just crazy. That is a flat deck off of an old truck sitting there. Too bad the truck is gone. Hey, all right, that looks like the full loop. They did have a lot of buildings down here. But there you have it. Roadside something. I know most of the viewers are from other parts of the world, but if anybody happens to know some history behind this location, please let me know. And I do apologize for the short video this week, but right in the midst of something, and just gearing up for our official big season adventure. These things take time, so I needed a bit more time. Next week we should be right back into the swing of things. Staircase. Wow, it almost looks like an earthquake came through here. I mean, we don't really have those kind of earthquakes here in BC, but these buildings are just rubble. Well, there you have it. Large collection of roadside relics. Thanks for watching, everybody.
I was waking up this morning, waking up before it's getting 9. Kinda heavy on my shoulders, tracking down some moments back in time. I could swore that I was in it, down to every minute. Don't know what I was sipping, but I felt like I was doing fine. Oh my. Turns out that I just got a little bit south, just a little bit north of the Georgia line.